Hello, hello, hello. No messing around, let's get right into it. This is Pokeboomers. It's a Nuzlocke I do with some friends. I'm gonna assume you know what's what. My rivals, I think he was live right now. I just caught the last bit of his gym fight. And alright, I need to open this up with, I need to, confess what my plan was going to be, and now what my plan is. Because I went into this fully intending to do this gym hard mode, which if you don't know what this is, that's when we do a gym in Pokeboomers and we don't use a super effective move. I have thought better of this after a lot of second guessing and kind of theory crafting and everything, so my plan would have been I go in with my starter, Dark Cloud, who has the Eviolite, is defense EV trained, and I set up a Reflect into a Leech Seed, and then the first two Mons I pretty much just wipe out with either Acrobatics from Olga, because it'll be level 31, or I bring in White Mute and Psybeam for the Toad. And the Excadrill, I just bring in Dark Cloud, keep up Reflect, and then Leaf Tornado until it dies. I think this could have worked. However, I forgot to account for that Bulldoze always lowers speed, so I would have needed to take a non-reflected attack at some point, on top of the chance that he just slashes and crits and ignores my defense up. And if I have to tank an attack after one or two Hone Claws, if Dark Cloud has much of any damage on him already, that'd basically be game over, because I don't have a Lilligant like my two friends, so much as I'd love to try and make up the gap in points that we've got going on, I'm just gonna be doing this plain old normal. Just, doing it like was intended. So let me run through the team. We could have had that timeline where I do it to hard mode, but we're not going to. So we have Dark Cloud, my starter, Servine, pretty well trained up, an absolute wall, gonna have Eviolite on him. Eviolite. Lazy Shell is going to be a little bit of Sir not appearing in this gym, and right on time.
Mission complete.
Sorry if it felt like I was deliberately setting this up so that I was forcing you to raid me, Hugh, but welcome, welcome! Congrats on your gym victory. I'm not salty about it at all. Happy for you. Really. Hugh is another one of the people who does Pokeboomers with me. I was just running through my plan. I basically outlined the case against me doing hard mode. Welcome, everybody. This is more Pokeboomers. Lazy Shell is basically going to be Sir not appearing in this gym. He's strictly here for PvP. The case was basically Dark Cloud, defense EV trained up, keep Reflect up, and hold Eviolite. And I did the calcs. Dark Cloud could hard wall everything short of a slash, but Leaf Tornado is like a 5-hit KO around there. So basically, if it can get off two Hone Claws, then the attack I would have to take from the speed downs to get my Reflect back up could ruin me. And short of Dark Cloud, I have nothing that can hit this neutrally that well. 5-hit is a lot, exactly. Ideal case, it has no attack up stages, and I have Reflect up. Dark Cloud should have taken 8 hits to kill from any of its moves, assuming no criticals. Slash is only at 12%, so I felt that was worth taking, but the Hone Claws, I can't ignore that. We got Poison Needle, who is also going to be a Sir not appearing in this gym and is strictly here for PvP. Are you noticing a pattern? That will surely never screw me over. White Mute. I just updated my notes, look at abilities. True. I also have a prediction running, if you would like to gamble your garlic coin, on the outcome of the gym. I am not doing hard mode, I'm doing normal. White Mute mostly exists to be a backup Reflect setter if I need. However, the Excadrill does have rock moves, so that makes it a very dubious prospect. Still, White Mute could be good if my main attackers get chunked down, and I need somebody to take out the Palpitoad or the crocodile. Red Eye, the Basculin. This thing is an absolute mofo filled with attack. And Aqua Jet and Aqua Tail are going to be staples as far as attacking this. And as far as I'm concerned, my monkey is almost as good. So if I lose this Basculin, it's not the biggest loss. I was more okay with it when I thought it was hard moding, but anyway. And then Zodiac, who has the experience share on for now. I intend for her to go in at 31. Some panic, no held item acrobatics could help out here. Even versus the Excadrill, its damage is not bad. That said, if Zodiac comes out versus the Excadrill, things have gone horrifically wrong. But I haven't even done my common gym trainers yet, so let's get into it and start seeing just how bad things are going to get. First things first, let's talk to the homie. I'm sure it was tough dealing with all that right after you arrived here. For now, I'll just give you this. Free fresh water. I mean, judging by your fight, I don't think I'm gonna overlevel, because I don't have one mon I'm counting on to sweep. Probably. Right, experience share is out. Yeah, just kind of gotta get in there and keep mixing it up. Oh, also, and if there are any Pokemon that have to get to our level cap of 31, thanks to your generous community Garlic Coin donations, I will be doing any grinding that I have to do completely on stream. God help me. I kind of ended that sentence with a comma, but there's nothing more. I may or may not have had some caffeine in between streams. I can neither confirm nor deny. Okay, Palpitoad. I assume Dark Cloud just completely rolls him. And another part of my plan that could have gone wrong is Leaf Tornado is 90% accuracy. If I missed even one against the Excadrill, that was going to be real bad. Granted, I could put on... actually, yeah, I could have just put on Grass Knot, and that would have been fine. Anyway, not needed in this case, obviously. I ain't afraid of no Palpitoad. Okay, Drillbur. I do... Let me put up a Reflect. Just in case, because I'm a dirty coward. And let me see just how... Well, no, this still gets hit super effective, right? Because it's straight ground? Yeah. So that was completely pointless, and I'm, like, way outthinking myself. But I lost? Yes. Thank you for your generous contribution to my Ruling the Unova Region Fund. You're coming with me, by the way. You work for me now. I face my Pokemon, and we share our real feelings. Sometimes that's what I do in this Pokemon gym. So are you like part of Clay's HR staff, or what exactly do you do here, sir? Because I rapidly realized, like, I thought about putting this stream off till tomorrow. I didn't mention that I was thinking about doing that. Ooh, the dirty little mud slab. Very well. I did think about putting this off till tomorrow, but I realized I've got some things going on tomorrow that would make that a bad idea, because my schedule for tomorrow, obviously the Pokeboomers podcast, is locked in, won't change, but during the day is going to be a little bit of a moving target. Okay, we dodged the swagger. Very cool. Easy breezy, nothing to it. Cover girl? They both feel the sting of defeat. That'll be quite common amongst your coworkers soon. I need to fight this guy, right? Wait, is this guy an optional trainer? He's an optional trainer, isn't he? I'm a dingus. Yep, I've seen enough of those ads. I don't know if that's still like their, slogan. I don't watch TV anymore, so I have no idea. I received intense training from Clay. No trainer around here is out of my league. Team leveled without accidentally walking onto Route 6. Good man. Judging by how your experience worked out, I will probably need to do a little leveling before I go into Clay, but we shall see. Okay, you have a few more, so let me just set up a nice reflect here. Ah, the swagger. Good thing Dark Cloud is not my only attacker. And see, like, swagger is another thing that could go wrong. I do have one Persim berry, but I have to count on Dark Cloud with Eviolite. Otherwise, like, I need Eviolite and Reflect to go toe-to-toe with Excadrill were I doing this hard mode. So, there are just many, many places where it could go wrong. And I also consider it kind of an omen that, like, I got away with objectively dumb plays in my Fire Emblem stream earlier for a while. And then I took a nasty hit to Roy and I died. And, like, as a man who believes in his own luck, I'm a little bit superstitious. So, like, that seems like a bit of a sign to me. Anyway, have Leaf Tornado. Team's Reflect wore off. Okay, you just have another Sandile. Oh no, not my attack stat that I definitely use. Oh no. Hey, doing pretty well, Fuego. How are you? Just getting back into some Nuzlocke nonsense in the Driftveil gym. I should have been taking better notes when Hugh was doing this. Just woke up. Nice. Although, I forget if you're US-based or not, so... Actually, I'm not sure I ever knew that. Anyway. Good morning, question mark? 'Tis the evening for me, on the off chance it's not for you. This is more to restore grass tornado uses than actually heal. Oh, right, yes, backups. Can you tell I'm a little bit manic? My backups are my, Simi, Poor, the stupid elemental monkey, and... Who is the other one? I've written down in my notes Yato, but that seems wrong. Yeah, the monkey and... Yeah, the monkey and Yato, I guess. It matters a little less, because basically part of my hard mode strategy that I wasn't going to say out loud was that I was basically going to be okay with somebody dying, probably my Basculin. Because, like, certain sacrifices must sometimes be made, but, like... I don't know. Everything would hinge on my starter, and if my starter went down, then basically I would have no plan for dealing with the rest, so... Not a great way to approach things. Needed some water there. Clay is at the bottom of the gym, but I will test you to see whether you is skilled enough to face the gym leader. Predictions closed. I see we have a believer and a doubter. Very well. I see how it is. If only that Excadrill wasn't the gym leader's ace. If it was anything else, I could probably work around it easily, but... oh well. Also, Zodiac, are you not at least level 30 yet? Jesus, I may have overestimated how much... oh, okay, you're like basically there. Oh. Oh, I need to not be here yet. That's an oops. That's a miss. That's a miss. That's a miss. Never mind, Clay. I need to go get ready first. Oh, gotta fight now. God, remember during, the Zed era, when he wanted part of hard mode gyms was once you enter the gym, you can't leave. Put an absentee former host on blast. I did think it could have been interesting, but like, Jesus Christ. When the elevator goes up, my spirits rise. When the elevator goes down, my spirits fall. You want to know why Clay is at the bottom? Defeat me. Ye old Sandile. I'm glad that's kind of the rank of file of this gym, because Sandile is not really that bad to deal with. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to do some leveling. Okay, there's Zodiac at level 30. Yes, learn acrobatics, please. Right now it's a bit immaterial. What move I overwrite? Volt Switch I can get back, as well as Thunder Wave, neither of which I can use in the gym. Yeah, I'll get rid of Volt Switch for now. Stab acrobatics. Delicious. Okay, that should be the last guy in the gym, yes? So, there go his spirits all the way down. Speaking of your spirits going down, we have given this man depression. Is it this one? Yes, okay. Funny how I can navigate when I just saw the path done by someone else, like, half an hour ago. It's borderline superhuman feat of navigation for me, though, I assure you. Okay, so I think I get Dark Cloud up to a high level 30. And everyone who is not named Lazy Shell no, Poison Needle. Everyone not named Poison Needle up to 31. As that is our level cap, there are consequences, point-wise as well as PvP-wise, for going over that. So I want to avoid that if I can. I don't think there's a whole lot of danger, despite Hugh's jokes, his japes. I think I can manage it. We do use ROM-hacked copies here, so it just makes the Audino pop in faster. Don't worry about it. Because we wanted to be able to use trait evolutions anyway. See also, Nintendo being a terrible company these days. The list goes on, truly. Audino, I promise there will be absolutely no murder. No harm will come to you should you show your face. It'll be great. We'll just hang out, you know, talk about how we're definitely not going to witness Team Plasma firebombing the cold storage or whatever terrorist act they do. Hey, we have a winner. Yes, this is all correct. Dark Cloud does need a bit more. Oh, it's an illegal Stoutland! Would have been funny. Alternately, made you look. Sorry, Audino. Pokemon said no gays. How hard does return hit? Interesting. I think we need a little bit more on Dark Cloud. And Zodiac... Yeah, we definitely need more on Zodiac. So the Audinoing continues. It's... Oh. Oh, that was quick. I feel a bit embarrassed that I had this whole big grinding stream earlier in the week, and lo and behold, it's more grinding. I'm feeling pretty good, Flair. A little bit manic, but like, this stream is going to be on the shorter side, so I'm feeling good. How about you? Still at work? Had myself plenty of water, got myself something to eat. I'm good to go, but yeah, this stream is probably not gonna crack an hour. Because I just need to do the gym leader, and then I'm done with Nuzlocke stuff for the week. But we can appreciate our time together while we have it. That's still not enough on Dark Cloud. The good old uncertainty of when your shift actually ends, as opposed to when it's supposed to end. Yeah, I've been there. For me, there were a few things more frustrating than, being like, okay, yes, I get to leave. Oh, hey, the next shift hasn't shown up yet. Can you stay? And they always phrase it as a question. I mean, hopefully they do, but even if they do phrase it as a question, it's not actually a question. It's, hey, stay longer or we'll fire you. We'll make up some excuse. You think we won't? And this dog has dared to... I can say it because female herdier, female dog, this bitch has dared to interrupt my Audino time. It was particularly bad for me. A few years ago, I was working the graveyard shift at a hotel. So, you know, when somebody, like, overslept and couldn't come in, and I had to stay, instead of leaving right at 7 a.m., when I'd been there for 8 hours, having to stay until, like, 9, when my body was like, oh my god, the cursed sun is coming up, Vimbert. We need to sleep like the vampire we are professionally. That was just the worst for me. And I always let the people who were late know. Like, they knew I was ticked at them. They didn't care, of course. Stop it. Audino? Jesus. Full 5-time hit. The absolute... Audina-acity. I straight up thought that was a typo, and then I looked at it again, Repu. Well done. Well done. That has my seal of approval, sir. Okay, Zodiac should get there in one more. Poison Needle is going to be my EXP dump. Let's work on Red Eye next. More of a transportation thing I currently have none, so I have to leave 2 hours early to catch the bus. Thought I was going to get a ride. Yeah. Yeah. That night shift job I had, I was also taking the bus, so I know how that goes. As my previous car had decided to catch on fire, and at the time, I didn't have money to get another. And I was like, you know what? I live in the Denver area. This is like a modern city with, like, public transportation. I can make this work, and I did. Technically. I lived outside where the light rail went, so it truly was just the bus. Yeah, I believe it, Repu. But from what little I've seen, just from, like, comparing your downtown to Denver's downtown, Minneapolis's public transit is better than Denver's. Straight up. Granted, I've only been there as a visitor, not as someone living there trying to use it to get around, so I'm sure that would change it quite a bit. But if I can pretend to be objective, to me it comes out on top. But there's probably a little bit of the grass is greener going on over there. Okay, Dino, please. I need to get on with doing the gym fights before people need to sleep, so they can see how this goes. You're being very rude right now. We will cancel you. Come on, Audino. Be a pal. Be a pal. Sacrifice your life for my egomaniacal cause. It'll be greatly appreciated by me. And me. And me. And my Pokemon. As they will gain in power. Do I dare see if the grinding playlist isn't broken? Yeah, I think I might need the grind.
Ah, well, very well then. So, what we're doing here is, I'm trying to get a particular Pokemon to spawn. Audino. It's a, like, cute, fluffy, pink piece of crap. But it's kind of like the the Metal Slimes in Dragon Quest. Which are always very good, because they give you lots of experience points. But, sometimes they can be a bit of a bastard about spawn. But here they are. Norwegian deals, it worked. And so unless I am very unlucky, good, it is the thing I want. Not quite as high a level as it could be, but that still works. But yes, public transit. In theory, I would like to use it a lot more than I do. But that is only in theory. But the ironic thing is, unless I use it more in the current state it is in, they will keep being like, oh, we have low ridership, and we cannot expect the lines. In fact, recently they have been cutting some, which is very depressing. As that is probably not good overall for the city. At first they were doing so because they had the excuse of COVID, but now they just kind of have nothing. Now you may be asking yourself, how do I fast forward the ROM when I have boxing gloves on? And fast forwarding involves holding down the tab key. Well, you see, there's a very good explanation for that I am certainly not stalling on. For the voice redeemed to run out. That is never something I would do. Not me. I would not possibly dream to deprive you of that answer, so we're back. And an Audino has spawned. Alright. Hopefully this one does it for Zodiac. How do you Pokemon with boxing gloves on? Very carefully. Hey, Brian. How goes?
You have come into my gym battle stream to see me being caught a bit under level, so I'm having to grind. I would never redeem that red afterwards. Mm-hmm. Of course, Flair. Of course. Dinos are definitely the way to do it. As I was saying before, it's just like Metal Slime hunting in Dragon Quest. Come on, Red Eye. There we go. Just gotta get Peeps up to 31, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, speaking of which, Zodiac is now ready. It's a beautiful speed stat. Alright, I can probably just hit Red Eye with a full force, an entire Audino. Yeah. Red Eye needs like an Audino and a half, probably. Yeah, I have a Sigilith! In a Nuzlocke run, I didn't have to cheat at all. No repel manipulation, nothing. And I managed to pull one. It seems really cool, Brian. It's definitely my favorite in the run so far. I got giga hyped for it. It took me kind of an embarrassingly long time to catch it. I was so worried I was gonna get whirlwinded. And it's even a Sigilith with Magic Guard. Yeah, it has Magic Guard. That's the thing, Brian. Yeah, the good one, exactly. Yeah, I don't actually know. Where do you actually get a life orb in the games? Like, is that even something you can access before post-game? Because this run won't get into post-game, sadly. Post-game? Okay, that makes sense. I thought maybe it could have been like a battle subway thing. Because I haven't really looked into the rewards, because I kind of looked into battle subway enough to be like, that's really risky to do in a Nuzlocke, and then I just kind of like resigned myself to never getting anything out of there. Maybe. Oh god. You're raid pugging, Repu? My condolences, man. Hopefully my insane ramblings can keep you company in the meantime. But yeah, if I could get Life Orb, that would be amazing. Granted, I'm mostly using Sigilith as like a dual screener, but I mean, it's got Psybeam. My only earthly bond to this world. Damn, I mean, no pressure. You did hear me say that this is going to be a shorter stream, right? Because I did the Fire Emblem thing earlier? Yes? Kidding aside. Good old MMOs. I got a notification that my Final Fantasy XIV personal housing is going to be automatically demolished soon, so... Will 7K stream for the next 2.5 hours? No. Sorry, it will not. I do fight for my friends. I also, obvious segue, fight against my friends. My rivals in this contest are doing the same thing I am, and I have to fight them every Friday. Which, of course, just complicates this thing. You should follow them, they're cool. I find it interesting how I Fight for My Friends was not in either of the Tellius games, and it's become so emblematic of Ike. Yeah, I rode that Segway all the way to the next Audino spawn. Don't be one of the others. How dare you? Hey look everybody, it's the illegal Stoutland. It shows up a full 9 levels before it should be possible. It's a majestic boy, and no denying it. I have no idea what its moveset is gonna be. Oh! Okay, that's a little bit terrifying. Let me throw up a Reflect, then. Urge to flee rising. Okay, recoils itself to death. Good. I was squinting at the screen there real hard. Not that you could see it. You'll have to take my word for it. Being like, don't screw me on this. Don't screw me on this. Because probably if Takedown had crit, that would have been the end for it. Lazy Shell needs a little bit of that XP love. Poison Needle is going to be my XP dump for the gym. It will be evolving. Well, no, I'm showing all my grinding on stream. God help me. I keep forgetting that part. I think my brain, like, already mentally blocked out, my stream yesterday. Because I think I got mild to moderately pretty unhinged. I don't know. Someone who was there would have to confirm. I mentally was not. I'm not even sure it actually happened. No, it did. I didn't exactly private the VOD. It happened. I cannot deny it. Lazy Shill... Lazy Shill. Lazy Shill? Lazy Shell ain't no tier 3 sub. Of course they're both of Engage, Lord. I need to try Engage eventually. Even though the story looks like the Quality of Fates, but if they didn't even pretend to try. X3 in that whole what song? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Flair. That sounds very cursed. But I am not familiar with it. That's not the one where it's like, that one, gal who was a VTuber who, like, made the... Like, I made a cringy, furry copy pasta into a rap, where it's the, like... I probably shouldn't go on, for the sake of those who aren't familiar. Yes, exactly, that one. Okay, no, I do know it then. And now that's in my head, too. I should have just left well enough alone. I could have just walked away. I had every opportunity to save myself, and yet, and yet, and yet, and yet. So no, I do in fact know what you're talking about. Alright, Audino, if you could keep spawning at that rate, that would be phenomenal. If I have to suffer, so do you. Fair enough. Our suffering, comrade. I'm just glad that I have the option for cold storage and I don't have to rely on Route 7, or whichever the one is to the west. Because I'm pretty sure that either Water Ripple spawns or the Shaking Grass spawns. So the fact that you can't get that here at cold storage, very useful. Though I'm starting to question. I think the Audino are on to me. This is not based on anything, but maybe if I leave the area to heal, they'll regain their nerve and face their death with some dignity. Mostly I just need to heal up White Mute, because White Mute also needs to get to level 31. Because I think I might be using him some in the gym. Obviously not against the Excadrill. That would be incredibly stupid. But versus someone else, perhaps, maybe. I've definitely had too much caffeine today. This is not good. I have things to do in the morning. Because I finally got back in. One of the things I've refused to compromise on, while I've been cutting costs, is my favorite kind of tea. which is a kind of black tea made by Celestial Seasonings, Fast Lane they call it, that has as much caffeine as the average cup of coffee. And I was out for a few days, but I was finally able to get some more. And I think my caffeine resistance may have gone away a little bit over those few days, so I am feeling the cups I've had more keenly than I might otherwise have. And now some would argue, like, Vim, if you're going to have a caffeine addiction, at least drink coffee. And no. I've tried coffee. I've tried many different kinds of coffee. My sister's a coffee addict. She has, like, some crazy $300 espresso machine thing. And I take a drink from it and I'm like, ah, I see. It's the worst thing I've ever tasted. Fire and plot twist is kind of obvious. Honestly, the characters are good, which is what I care. Yeah, that's true. I have seen some of the characters and the designs are cute. The one short knight guy seems pretty good. But, I mean, Fire Emblem stories can be good. 6 has been pretty solid so far. The Tellius games I will go to bat for, we just don't talk about blood pacts. Coffee with its own bold flavor profile and should not be drank with cream. Those people are liars and Philistines. Yeah, we kind of run the gamut among my siblings. I don't drink coffee. My sister likes to, you know, have like lots of creams and things. Bean soup that makes you happy and awake. Treat it as such. That's fair. That's a very fair view to have. My older brother does like some kind of fancy like French press thing with specific beans, and then my little brother just buys the cheapest Folgers garbage imaginable and just has that straight black. Same as he's been having since he was 8 years old. Because my little brother is a very unique individual. Always has been. But it was one of those things where, like, my dad let him try coffee, assuming he would hate it, and he liked it. And my dad was like, well, crap. I guess the boy can have coffee. Keurig cup and press a button. That's a good way to do it. See, I like tea, but I've gone carefully out of my way. Like, people be like, oh, what do you think about, like, dragon bulb tea or, like, loose leaf? I'm like, no, no, no. I specifically keep my tastes cheap. If I got a taste for the good stuff, I'll spend more money on the good stuff. Therefore, this keeps my caffeine addiction cheaper, because I could get by on Earl Grey from, like, Twinnings, and the specialty I like from Celestial Seasonings, which is not really that much more than your average black tea. I put thought into this, you see. Dear God, I really am caffeinated. Good story like I Consider Three Houses does. There aren't any divulging past engagements since just states what's awakening. Okay. I mean, I feel like Fire Emblem is generally at its best when it just follows one linear story. Or it doesn't really have branching paths, like Radiant Dawn, you know, it follows a few different groups of protagonists, but it's just one story, with only minor variances here and there, and I consider that pretty good. Path of Radiance, I consider kind of the gold standard. It still uses Fire Emblem tropes, but it's got good details along the way, good characters. Sacred Stones, half of Sacred Stones, if you experience all of it, has you play as Erica, and do things like just give away the plot coupon to the bad guy, because he won't use it for evil he promises. So I think I would disagree with you there. Ephraim's route is good, though. And if Sacred Stones had a little more time, like, if their plot had a little more time to cook, and, like, kind of develop it, I think Leon is honestly one of the better villains in Fire Emblem. He's not used well, but his concept is interesting, because I feel like a lot of Fire Emblem villains are just like mustache twirling, ah yes, I am in it for evil! But Leon is like, no, I'm doing it to like help my homeland, and like, I'm trying to avert this disaster. I'm the good guy here. Oh, more to the root splits. Okay. I mean, I guess. I just very much don't like Erica as a character. I guess. That's fully my bias coming into it. Oh good, attract. Well, if it isn't my favorite move in Pokemon being used against me. I see. Ooh, which reminds me. No, I think Zodiac is the only female Pokemon I'm using. That Miltank, exactly. That Miltank taught a young Vimbert the value of attract. Ephraim is the way better lord in every way. True. True. Literally every way. Anyway. I kind of reject the argument that Fire Emblem usually has a bad story. It just uses a lot of common storytelling tropes. And tropes are not bad. It's just how you use them. I mean, I think at best their storytelling does rise to, like, just kind of above average. But it's not, like, awful. Really, Brian? I do recommend them. Though there's some individual entries that I have my issues with. I think they're very enjoyable. But my favorite ones are literally the games that are the toughest to play legitimately, because they're being really bad about re-releasing them. And that is Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn on the GameCube and Wii. That's the one that Ike comes from. The two games that Ike comes from, rather. I've been kind of hitting the Fire Emblem hard lately. I'm hoping to finish up Binding Blade next week. I almost got close earlier today, but then Fire Emblem was like, hey, what if we just kill your main character and give you a game over? After you've been on an individual mission for like 2 hours. I'm like, okay. Damn, you know what? You're right, Hugh. Because just like you invented Gen 5, you also invented Fire Emblem. Hey, Avalon, welcome, welcome, all you Ironclads and Iron Chads, sorry, and Avalads. My name is Vimbert. I'm one of the folks who does the Nuzlocke thing alongside Avalon. We are just in kind of final grinding prep to get ready to go into the gym. How was your stream? Were you doing West of Loathing, or what were you doing today, Avalon? Mob meat! Oh hey, it's the illegal stoutlet. Hello, Lurkman Ban. Welcome, welcome. Shadows over Loathing, that's right. I knew it was one of those games. Like Erica's route more until the reunion. Innes and Sally reveal more than Dussel and Noel. That's true. You do get the details about Joshua. That's a fair argument. I hadn't considered it from that angle, Flair. I think I like Dussel and Noel better as characters, but Saleh is fine. I just hate Innes with an undying passion. It's part of my bias against Fire Emblem archers that I've never truly been able to get over. Anyway, I'm glad stream was good. We are, for some reason, talking about Fire Emblem while playing Pokemon. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. This is surely an Audino and not another illegal stoutland, right? Ah, I should have known, Flair. The trouble is, I always get Noel and Canas mixed up. So, in my head, I'm like, wait, Noel is pretty good. But then I'm like, oh wait, no. He's not the fun monocle man. The confusion. Oh, come on. Audino. Gotta make things difficult. Sheesh. Level for White Mute. Okay, just need one more on White Mute and I'll be ready to go fight Mr. Clay. Who ain't here for no nonsense. And is apparently like just a billionaire that kinds to moonlight as a sheriff. Never deal with Selena and Erica. Oh yeah, Selena's cool. Yeah, the enemy mage knight. Yeah, I think she's probably the best use of kind of the Fire Emblem type of character where it's like, yes, I'm on the enemy side, but I like have a moral compass and I'm kind of honorable. Yeah, Sacred Stones just, they have good characters, just, I wish they were in a better plot on the whole. Is kind of what my qualms come down to. That and I don't like Fire Emblems where they have, grinding and world maps. Don't at me. Anyway, another Audino! I mean, what the... Oh! Hello. I forgot you could appear. The thing is, Hugh, what discussion is needed about Joshua's hat? It is perfect. End of discussion. That said, I'm still angry at Joshua for being bad on my last run of Sacred Stones, but... Handshake emote. Yeah, true. And, you know, there was kind of like... Sacred Stones and Path of Radiance could have come out in either order. So, yeah, if it had gone on a full console, it probably would have been a lot better. I don't deny that for a second. A remake would be good, unironically, because it'd be an older Fire Emblem game that I think some of the newer fans would find easy to get into, because it's got level grinding and kind of the more traditional RPG mechanics that have slowly infected, that's a strong word, crept into the series over time. It doesn't have children either. True. True. Good lord, I hated that in Fates and Awakening. In Awakening, I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is sort of neat that it's different. And then they did it again in Fates, I'm like, alright. Intelligent systems, can we not? Yeah. It's one of those things where it very much feels like you have to min-max. And it also punishes, like, blind Iron Manning. You get choices, doesn't really hold your hand, but is forgiven because of the world map. Exactly. And you can get a little bit of a sense of replayability, because you can do, you know, after you invariably pick Ephraim's route for your first time playing the game, you can go back and play Erica's route. Like, I think everyone that I have spoken to who's played Sacred Stones played Ephraim's route first. I don't know if anyone cares to contradict me on that. But, like, as a young... Really? Well, color me surprised. I guess as a young lad, I was like, okay, so I can go with this lady who is not a good unit to, like, try and seek out allies, or I can go with the absolute Chad of Ephraim. I mean, of course, I was not thinking in these exact terms, because Chad had a very different connotation back then. The absolute Chad that is Ephraim, and just, like, directly start fighting the enemy. Yes, I want to go with Ephraim. Also, can we just agree that Ephraim has one of the best introductions to any lords in the series? You, like, hear rumors that he's been captured, and then he shows up, he's like, hey, I'm gonna take over a castle with me and my 4 friends. You're like, wait, what? Are you crazy? He's like, and we're going! Love that man. Okay, I basically just need one rando Pokemon. Not even an Audino. You'll do. Okay, confusion. How are you faster than me? Oh, you used Helping Hand again. Because I had the guidebook or something and maybe suggested her route first through. Interesting. Is it actually easier? I've never... Full disclosure, I've never actually finished Erica's route. What is Synchronize? Inflicts damage on... The user inflicts damage on any Pokemon of the same type in the area around it. Like, so anything that's Psychic type? Multi-battle move. Yeah, but it is just like 70 power. Does it not work outside of that? I'm looking this up. Synchronize move. Damages all adjacent Pokemon that share at least one type. If the user has multiple types, yeah, it's probably worse Psybeam, because Psybeam is what... It is 5 power more, but Psybeam has that chance for confusion, so I think that wins out for me. Keep the old moves. Give up on Synchronize. Alrighty. Now it's time to go heal up and get ready for Mr. Clay. Seth was... Oh, I feel like there's a real discussion to be had over whether Seth or Titania is the better Jagan. Because both are really, really good. At that point, it's almost immaterial which one's better. Because they exist on a realm beyond that of mortal men and women. Okay, Poison Needle... Let me get the items set up before I forget. Poison Needle needs the EXP share for safety. Dark Cloud has Eviolite, Red Eye. You need Mystic Water. Zodiac, you need to be holding nothing. White Mute. I'll give you a berry, I guess? Lazy Shell shouldn't be appearing in this gym, but if you do... It's probably because things are bad, and you're going to be taking a lot of damage, so I'll give you a Citrus Berry. Could also pick up the Expert Belt, but I don't think that'll help me that much. Dark Cloud being tanky will help me more. Well, is that necessarily important? No, it could still be important, because if Red Eye goes down, or is critically damaged, Dark Cloud is my second best attacker against his ace. So... Titania's the only one I'll accept, but only in Path of Radiance. Yeah, it's true. In Radiant Dawn, she's not good. I'm strictly talking Path of Radiance, for clarity. So I can agree with that. I should still pick up the Expert Belt, though. Before I inevitably forget. You, glad you came. Want something good? Yes. Show me a Pokemon level 30 or more. Oh, strong. You, great. Take this. I have a sneaking suspicion that in the original Japanese, that was supposed to be like a gaijin sort of character. Anyway. So. Points are on the line here. This is a competition. I could have elected to do this hard mode, where I didn't use super effective moves in the gym, but I kind of concluded that that's probably not a good idea. Begrudgingly. So, because I think we have some people in here who don't really follow Pokeboomers, part of our rules are no items in battle, so I can't use those as a get out of jail free. I need the other one. And obviously it's a Nuzlocke, so if a Pokemon dies, it's dead. I'm going to blame me explaining those things as to why I went in a circle. That's definitely the actual reason. certainly the actual reason. I think I do go down on this one. Then I go on this one? God, I did this perfectly before. Right, and then the girl. Okay, yes. This seems familiar. Okay, good, good. Everyone can stop panicking. What's that? I was the only one panicking? For reasons completely unrelated to my excessive caffeination, I am going to take a quick restroom break, and then we'll come back with the gym fight, and perhaps...
But you did just redeem a strong bad warrior voices the stream, so... Perhaps I should keep going for a bit longer. And just kind of deal with the bladder situation. Yeah, I think I can do that. I'll survive. So, the basic plan here is I lead with Dark Cloud, who is almost level 31, is well trained up in the areas of defense. Hold your pee for a wee. Good lord, didn't a lady almost die because of that? He is holding the Eviolite, so his defense will be further boosted. And he knows Reflect, and literally almost every move in this gym is physical, so we do not need light screen. Dark Cloud will be popping in, setting up Reflect, and then swapping out. Coming back in on the Palpitoad to completely ruin its day with Leaf Tornado. The plan for the Excadrill is Red Eye comes in, hopefully does not get murdered, and then hits the Aqua Jet, or hits the Aqua Tail button. I never said it was a good plan. The understanding is that I will have Reflect up already. In fact, probably from after Dark Cloud sets up Reflect, I go right into Red Eye, and just kind of hopefully go burr. Or actually I could, yeah, I leave Dark Cloud in, and just wipe out the Croc with Grass, which will then cause the AI to be like, oh, I don't want to send in that Palpitoad. Are you kidding me? Dark Cloud will eat that thing for breakfast. And then that will bring in the Excadrill, hopefully after only one turn of Reflect has gone down, so then I can go straight into Red Eye. And I will very quickly find out if things are going to go to hell. And wow, look, I talked through the entire 2 minutes explaining my plan, so I can restroom break anyway. Okay, be back in like a minute, bye! You would think I would learn to not drink a bunch of tea before going live. But hey, this now marks twice that I've done it in the same day, so clearly I am but a common fool. Alright, plan has been explained, items are set up. Swagger will cause me some problems if it goes out. In which case, I might have to do some creative switching around. But ultimately, I think this is a relatively safe way to go about it. Not quite as safe as the way my rivals have done it, because they have access to a Lilligant. But without that Shiver Dance tech, I will have to make do.
Well, I think it's about time to see for myself what it is about your skills that made a gym leader like Elsa take such a shine to you. Okay, I should at least be faster, so even if worst case happens, Swagger hits. I should still be able to get up Reflect, no trouble. Okay, you open with Bulldoze, that's fine. Honestly, a little bit confusing, even. Anyway, get Leaf Tornado. Ah, I see. Okay. That's fine, I believe in Dark Cloud. Damn it. Okay, then. So we're off to a bad start. Could Crunch or Bulldoze? Already off to a bad start. I could bring in Zodiac. And just Acrobatics. Yeah. If I get really lucky and catch a Bulldoze here. Nope, Crunch. Okay then. Never mind. Dark Cloud, get back in here. Increasingly glad I am not doing this hard mode. Good lord. That's 2 critical hits in a row. I don't like that. So far bad, off to a bad start. Literally the worst possible timeline right now. I don't like that the obvious answer is Red Eye, because I want to keep Red Eye fairly fresh for the ace, but I don't know what choice I have with Dark Cloud still confused. Guess I could swap into Lazy Shell. Even if Lazy Shell tanks a super effective Bulldoze, it shouldn't kill him. And then I can get Dark Cloud back in. Torment! Where was that charity? Not that I'm bitter. Seriously? Okay. Without Reflect Up, this feels very dangerous to stay in and gamble on. I will catch a break one of these times. Okay, Crunch. I swear to God, if you swagger me again... It missed. Thank you. I need Reflect. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. A break! Good. Good, 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 good. Okay. Leaf Tornado this chump. Jesus! For a Mon who went down in a one-hit KO, that was way more difficult than it needed to be a game. Okay, so I have my one turn of Reflect, Excadrill comes out, swap into Red. Just with a few extra steps and a lot of extra damage to the team. Now let's see how bad... That wasn't even Slash. Yeah, I think Red Eye just needs to die. Yeah. To save this, I just need to pop in an Aqua Jet. You're correct. Lord. Oh, sure, you couldn't have given me a super effective hit. No, 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 no. Or a crit, rather. Oh, shit. We're back here again, and Dark Cloud is not at level 31. I hate this. I hate this. I'll be. Sure didn't see that coming. Oh, you didn't see coming that you were going to crit me 3 times? I'm fine. I'm not malding, you're malding. Ford Truck Month. Okay, that's not good. Oh god, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes! I'm losing my mind. I am losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. Okay, let's think this through. It was Slash, but that's still only a 12% chance. Let's think this through. That's definitely potion range. I have dropped his accuracy by 1 stage. So this is not quite as bad as it seems. This should, in theory, be a free turn to Leaf Tornado. In theory. Oh, God. I'm literally on my backup plan and everything has gone completely to hell. This is the only path forward. If I'm lucky, I get another accuracy drop. Damn it. This is it. This is the only move I've got. This has to work. Yes! 2 accuracy down. Oh, bulldoze hits. We live. Speed drop. I don't think that's potion range. I'm also probably no longer going first. The starter might have to die here. I hate this. I hate this so much. Okay, White Mute gets hit super effective, but it's not the stab super effective. And it's a move that already starts with lower accuracy. For additional safety, Reflect. Okay, we get a miss. It resists both of these moves, right? Because steel nonsense, yeah. So I just go for the one that's stronger and might confuse it. Please just, like, crit or something so this nightmare can end. You used Bulldoze? The surprise charity? Okay, maybe this doesn't end my run prematurely. There's a faint glimmer of hope that the game is about to snatch away. Why did it go for... Okay. That's bad. Attack stage up. It's now down only one stage of accuracy. I just have to cling to a faint hope that I live. God damn you! Okay, Reflect wore off. But unless that was a high roll, I'd still be dead if I got hit by it. Playsuit should be out of hyper potions. All I can do is just keep slamming into him. Oh, I hate this. Instantly giga stressed. Please pull. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Maybe the AI will be stupid again. Maybe the AI will be stupid again and use acrobatics. And use Bulldoze. Lazy Shell might live through Bulldoze. But probably not with an attack stage up. Zodiac will be faster. I can at least get a hit in. Maybe two. Dodge. Dodge. Okay. Okay. We're not dead yet. Good God. This is an unmitigated disaster. Okay. So my anti-palpitoad strategy is now sitting dead. Zodiac does not live a hit. However, it should be using like Muddy Water or Bubble Beam, or it could even do Aqua Ring. So I think I switched to Poison Needle and Pray. Otherwise, I really don't think Zodiac can live any hit. Can live a single hit. Please just Aqua Ring. Please Aqua Ring. Don't Bulldoze. Okay, Bubble Beam. That's less good. Wait, is Bug Bite super effective? I can never remember how the hell Bug works. No, it's normal. Okay, I know you don't have a berry, so I just gotta slam into you with Return and Pray. God, I hate it. Not going for the super effective hit for some reason. Okay, we hit. Please crit, please, please. This doesn't look good. At this point, this is about preserving the run. And not full wiping. Jesus. There's the critical hit I've been praying for all. That was a disaster. I'm ruined. I'm ruined. Ugh. I see, but I sure don't like it. You don't like it?
Go on, tell me how you don't like it.
For such a youngin', you have an imposing battle style. I know you got people who can dig up your potential. Here, take this. The victory is hollow and empty. I feel nothing. So this is your 5th badge, huh? That's so, Pokemon up to level 60 will obey you. Also, I'll give you this TM. Well, that was a plan, but I just remembered there's something I want. Wait in front of the cave at the end of Route 6, would you? I have funerals to set up first, sir. God, I'm ruined. So, Hugh. We only get 2 backups. But... yeah. Lord. Okay, well, so much for this being short stream, because now I've got to build up 4 Mons. I'm not EV training them, though. Yeah, I still think it could have worked. Just, you know, there's not a whole lot I can do when I get crit like 8 times. Alright, well, the Fallen. We have Dark Cloud, my starter. Was very excited to have a starter I could easily make into a competitive moveset by making it a dual screener. Poison Needle, who I really didn't get to see shine that much, but was pretty cool. Red Eye, the Basculin, a new addition to the team I was very excited about. And White Mute, who has been a staple of my... Oh god, that's both my dual screeners. An addition to the team I was extremely hype about getting. So, points. In our system, we get 25 points for winning a gym, but it's -5 for each Pokemon death, so my points go up to 140. I don't have words. I have only Audino murdering. Okay, who do I have that's left? Pumped for the pivot squad. Well, Old Glory. There's an obvious pickup. Really, the only reason he wasn't on the team this week was because Ground Gym. Yato, I guess. Sandile does evolve. Oh, God. Does Gothita evolve? You evolve at level 32. Fantastic. Carablast is no. Drying Pan is sadly a little bit tempting. Nailbat is never appearing on this squad unless I don't have a choice. Syncreto could maybe work. Vanillite is super fragile. But I think at this point, any hope of winning PvP matches tomorrow is pretty much dead. So... yeah, I think Miss Alligator might be one of the best of a bad lot at this point. I didn't prepare any casualty pictures. I will have to... I'll have to do that later. Panpour, I could get up and evolve and get acrobatics. I guess. I don't have one for the pivot team. Small favors. Tranquil, do you evolve this week? If not, then the answer is a no. You evolve at level 32! Lovely! I think by virtue of it being able to evolve, my monkey is the last member of the team, and I'm dying a little inside by admitting that. Okay, so who out of the B squad is capable of killing Audinos? Actually, Old Glory and Miss Alligator should do just fine. And Yato. Okay, yeah, it's basically only Drying Pan who's dead weight. And you can just hold the... God, I'm losing multiple mons that I EV trained. This hurts so much. Alright, well, I know I just took a break, but that was before 4 good Pokemon just died on me. I'm going to get up, walk to the kitchen, which is like 10 feet away, pour myself some whiskey, and let the salty grinding stream commence, because you, the community, donated so that all my grinding would be on stream this week. I'm honoring that. I'll be right back. I'm not having a mental breakdown. Also, I just realized something very important. In my grief and my rage, I forgot about it, but congratulations to the doubter in chat who bet on no. 'Cause, you know, there was some death. There was a non-zero amount of death. And I've got enough to do. This absolutely calls for the grinding playlist, assuming it's not broken. It might be. Let me get that fired up here. 'Cause it's broken! Great. Okay, whatever, YouTube. Sure, synthwave. I will play this. I do want a playlist. If you can link me yours, I'd use that. Because I'm just pulling up a rando at the moment that I have no reason to trust. Thank you. Well, if any of you are still here who raided in from Hugh's stream, this will be familiar. Okay, so that absolute travesty aside, and Repu's glee that, oh, also, have a good rest, Hugh. Thank you for hanging out and witnessing the absolute disaster firsthand. And for the raid. I appreciate you, bud. But hey, how goes it, everyone else? Outside of Pokemon, things I think are going to be fine for me. I just need to make sure this doesn't go, like, another 2 hours, because I do have to get up for a morning job interview. I mean, it's not that early in the morning, but I do have some prep work to do first. I also need to turn off animations in the interest of speed. Alright, to my 4 fallen Mons. You can't see it, but I'm toasting the monitor. This Very low-grade whiskey that I only use for mixing with things that I don't have mixed with anything because I don't have anything in the house currently. How bad is this going to be? Okay, that's only moderately vile. Only moderately. So, hey. I'm pretty bad at Pokemon, but that was excessive even for me. Things don't usually go that badly if you haven't seen me do this before. I don't know what I'm doing, but usually my luck is pretty good. I guess today I used it all up on Fire Emblem. C'est la vie. In fact, let me... This calls for a new stream title. Perfect. I don't even know. So much of my strategy for PvP on Friday. You'll still be doing better than this raid. Well, at least I have that going for me. I've done Pog Ulduars before back in my Wrath days. They're rough. Because in my experience, oh boy, a crit. Is Yato going to die? No, okay. In my experience, the quote-unquote easy bosses become the hardest bosses because you have to coordinate strangers to do the vehicle stuff and whatever. Oh, yes. And if any of you are about to nope out, this is part of a series. Tomorrow I will be streaming over on Hugh's channel, whose link to his Twitch is in the chat. We will be discussing how our weeks in PvP went, so expect more diatribes from me when I've had a chance to process how that clay fight went. And then we will be going to battle with their perfectly intact teams and my shattered remnants of a team for additional points and glory, with the help of Pokemon Showdown. Mimiron Phase 1 does the shock where you have to run out. He also does mines not to step on. Run away from the shock through mines and blow up. Perfect. Perfect. Actually, I should probably have animations on here, because I'm working with Mons low enough level that if they get caught by something, it could be really bad. And of course, you just barely live, and now you're probably going to crit 3 double slaps in a row and kill Yato, requiring me to grind up yet another Pokemon, right? Go ahead, do it, do it! Okay. I'm doing the Schwarzenegger right now. Come on, kill me! I don't even know what Schwarzenegger movie that's from. Alright, Drying Pan gaining some levels. Yeah, it's very oof-worthy. Things went so much worse than I could have imagined. And, like, it wasn't even Slash that I got caught on crits from. I mean, I did get crit with Slash, but it was when I would basically accepted that Mon I had out was going to die anyway. Just a whole lot of bad luck. The Vim luck was not on my side. And see, this is the thing. Like, for any of you who know Danganronpa, I explained my luck is like Nagito from the second game. I have long strings of good luck, but then when my luck turns bad, it's real bad. Is this where we whip out our swords and fight? No, Leafy, there has been enough death this day. If you just came in, I just had 4 Pokemon die. So, you know... Not quite feeling up to a sword fight at the moment. Yeah, it was bad, Leafy. It was real bad. And I even talked myself off the ledge of my greedy strategy that was going to objectively be a bad... Oh, hey, it's an illegal Stoutland. What up, friend? What does Old Glory even have for moves? I haven't used him yet. I guess that's one of the first things I should look at, actually, since I'm gonna be using you to actually fight things. You have Aquajet, Ancient Power, Crunch, and Wide Guard. I can get rid of Wide Guard just, like, straight out the gate. Put Scald on the boy. Just absolute shambles. Absolute shambles right now. At least Audino grinding is relatively safe. So I guess y'all get a whole lot of Invert, because how long was my Fire Emblem stream? It was like 4.5 hours or something. And now, we have this. So I guess we get a delayed answer to your question about 7,000 garlic coin. 7,000 garlic coin couldn't get me to continue streaming, but the 30,000 garlic coin that the community donated, that can. Also, Scald did not hit you very well. Will Ancient Power do better? Maybe get me the Omni Boost? Not really. Let me go with the possibility of a burn. Also, how is the music balance? It looks pretty low on my end. That's just basically so we're not sitting here in complete silence when I'm not just vocally losing my mind on stream. Also, I made, as certain individuals I know might call it, some peak Bimbert noises, so I hope people clipped some moments during that fight. It's a little low, but I like the level. Okay, we'll keep it where it's at then. I should probably give you Dig over Retaliate, so I've got something that's stab and nice and safe. Man. Like, I usually have a grinding playlist. That's... People who have been here for some of these streams before know I have that set up, but it's like... I don't know, I have a weird error going on with my computer right now. Hey, maybe I can detail this and somebody in chat could know. Everything else about my computer seems to be working fine, but sometimes when I start up my computer, and it seems to be completely at random, and I open up, like, a music program, or even, like, YouTube, it will just rapidly, like, next song or next video through the playlist every, like, half a second, so I never get anything playing. I have no idea why it happens, and it's not 100% of the time. It's infuriating me, and I have no idea why. I consider myself decently computer literate, but I don't know what could be causing that. I don't see any weird processes running when I check Task Manager, or anything like that. My virus scan is coming back clean, although I know that's not necessarily definitive. So yeah, I have no idea. Anyway, that's why we're listening to Hugh's music instead of my normal music when I have to do something like this. My EVs are going to be completely screwed because of this. Ugh. I am just in absolute shambles. Absolute shambles. Also, I'm now really, really glad that karaoke didn't ruin my voice. Because it turns out I had a lot of streaming to do today. Busted out a lot of my patented Vimbert karaoke classics. You know, Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne, Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth. What is Taunt again? Only attack moves. We're not real big on the non-attack moves around here, so I think I can skip that. Keep the old moves. I might want that eventually, but realistically, I'm hoping that this elemental monkey does not stick around too long. Really, if I could go just one level higher, I would have some better candidates. Also, I should check if Sandile learns any good delayed evolution moves, because it does evolve at level 29. I'll learn Dig by level at 31. Great. So, never mind. Not gonna be a thing. Appreciate everyone hanging out. I fully expected most people to ditch when I went back into grinding mode. Would not have blamed you in the least. But, you know, we still here. We still doing Pokemon, just with funky backing tracks. We could keep chatting. I did want to ask, I did want to ask you all, chat. It's looking like sooner or later I will be doing my face reveal stream that I've got a goal for. I've been trying to think what would be good to do aside from just like have my webcam up and just do like a just chatting. That feels really lame. And realistically, I know that, you know, questions might not be coming like fast and furious enough for that to be good enough. I feel like I should at least be doing something, some kind of game or something in addition. I've been trying to think of what would be good. I've got a few, like, slower strategy games I could play. Like Grand Strategy, like Stellaris or Crusader Kings. Wear a Wario mask. That requires a Wario mask, is the problem. And I kind of lack the money to get one. Okay, how bad is Secret Power? Great! Great! Just fantastic. Fantastic. Thanks, Audino. I can teach EU4. I'm happy in my Crusader King space. I like Crusader Kings. I know what's going on very well. It's kind of interesting. I had an ex who always tried to get me into EU4 once he learned that I was really into Crusader Kings. He's like, you can continue on. I'm like, nah. Somehow, once we get beyond, like, the medieval era, well, I guess I do, like, I don't know. I mostly just haven't tried EU4 because I guess I'm stubborn. Yeah, and strategy games seem somewhat well received around here. People do turn out for Fire Emblem. And, you know, if it's turn-based, I can just, like, somebody's got... I think it'll mostly be, like, kind of Q&A stream with gameplay as sort of filler, if I can't think of anything to ramble about. I know that probably seems unthinkable, me with nothing to talk about. But it could happen. I've never tried playing Stellaris on console. I feel like it wouldn't control as well, but I've dumped a bunch of hours into Stellaris. It used to be for a while. I had a group of friends where we were doing a multiplayer game every week. That was like a continuing campaign. We ran a few of those to completion. One of which ending with me becoming the Galactic Crisis and destroying the galaxy. Because, of course. Literally every other player united against me, so I just sat in my own voice chat while everyone else, like, schemed against me, and occasionally came in to talk to the galactic villain when they needed to coordinate something as far as, like, game speed. And then I defeated everyone and won by destroying the galaxy. For the good of the galaxy, you see, I had to do it in order to ascend. We all needed to be freed. They disagreed, you know, but I was really doing it for them. And then we added a new rule to the group. Vimbert is not allowed, well, it wasn't specifically at me, but no one is allowed to play as the Galactic Crisis ever again. But it was because I did it. Uncle Zappy Grandpa. That's a new one, Leafy. I mean, I have gotten a year older. I'm old enough that I don't know whether to call myself Mid-30s or early 30s? Our name for Palpatine. Yeah, that fits. Come on, Yato. I just need one turn of you not tier 3 subscribing to this Audino. That's it. You don't need her gamer girl bathwater. Thank you, Yato. Stupid little dog. Stupid dog! I'm like, love is a weakness. My job as a Pokemon trainer is to rid you of weakness. You will stop the shameful display, Yato. And hey, bringing it a little bit full circle, Yato, because my naming theme is video game weapons, Yato is the name of a sword from Fire Emblem Fates. The worst Fire Emblem game. Well, games. Technically, it's 3 games in 1. How about on time 30 seconds? I don't follow, Lurk. Yeah, Leafy. Oh, you're asleep. Whatever, let me swap into Zodiac and just run from this fight. Oh, on time 30s. Okay. You mentioned time, which had me thinking S is seconds. On time 30s, I like that. I might borrow that. I might steal that. No, it's not your bad at all. That's me misunderstanding what you meant. I do that from time to time around here. Oh, man. Being the roaming obelisk. Ah! I haven't seen those, Repu. You should send me them. I have not seen those memes somehow. I play a lot of Stellaris, but I'm, like, not well looped into, like, the fandom or memosphere of Stellaris.
Some of us get misunderstood around here. Everyone is different. No two chapters are the same.
But, you know, just like Gen 5 of Pokemon keeps repeatedly telling us, we respect folks' differences around here. All I need was on Enos. Listen, game, it's been a very long day. If you could just cooperate. Do we know? I mean, we don't respect some differences. Like people who think archers are a good class in Fire Emblem. I keep failing to run. This is concerning. Okay, there we go. Yeah, a little bit for me as well, because it's got that tail slap move. I do not like that it can appear instead of a nice, safe Audino. Relatively safe, at least. It does make me kind of wish that my Minccino was any good, because I think that could have been a legit backup this week. Archers can be good in Fire Emblem, but they're usually not. That's been my overwhelming experience. Maybe they're better in... Well, I know they were pretty good in Echoes, but every other game... Well, besides Echoes and Radiant Dawn, I've never had an Archer that was that good. Nomads I consider separate from Archers, because they have the benefit of Horse. And, you know, gaining a weapon type that's not locked to not being able to counter at melee range. But I mean, it's literally like kind of a Fire Emblem trope that you get an early game archer who sucks. Time to think about bed? Fair enough. Thank you for hanging out, Leafy. And I appreciate the lurk. Oh, hey! Actually, at the suggestion of someone in chat, I added a new command for a sleep lurk, if that's truly what you're doing. So if you so choose, you can get yourself a different lurk message. I don't know how often that one's gonna get used, but Sleepy Lurk or Sleep Lurk will get you that one. But yeah, I always appreciate any lurks. Slurk. Slurk sounds a little bit dirty somehow. Is that just me? Yes, as opposed to your normal, completely rational dreams that I'm sure you have. Jeesh. Look at Leafy. He's so ready for the slurk that he even failed at putting in an emote correctly. Hey man, how you been doing lately? Oh, I'm doing great. Met up with this great girl. I gave her the slurk. um... Alright, I don't think Roar is going to be that helpful, because I don't have any entry hazards I can use to abuse Roar. Like, maybe if I roared and it freshly applied the Intimidate, but since it doesn't work like that... Oh wow, Audinos are suddenly starting to cooperate quite a lot. I was fully ready for that to be a Minchino or Stoutland. Man. Just like thinking about all the brave Pokemon we lost. You're probably going to attract, aren't you? No, secret power. Please don't sleep me. Why are you like this? Okay, I can give Yato some chances here. Okay, good. Woke up. That wasn't too bad. You know, I do like Audino grinding, but their ability to put my mons to sleep is kind of cramping the Audino grinding style for me a little bit. It's a little less automatic than it was. Maybe there might have to be, like, just a go back to regular, just, you know, just kind of taking the lawnmower through the grass and just fighting whatever comes up. We may have to see a return of that if this secret power sleep nonsense is going to continue. Because I don't like it. But, you know, ideally I don't have to grind up 4 Pokemon the night before the Pokeboomers main cast. So, you know. Who can truly say how things will go in the future? Yes, there are berries that are single use. However, the thing about this generation is that the way to get new berries after you get them initially, in most games it's like, in a lot of the games, I should say, there's a tree either that you plant or exists in the world that generates a new berry after a length of time. Okay, great. Here, that function is tied to the online mechanics of the game, which, 1, don't work because I'm playing a ROM hack, and 2, wouldn't work because Nintendo have shut down the servers. So, I really have to save those berries for when I need them. Yeah. It's kind of a big bruh moment for Pokemon. Because Nintendo is a very anti-consumer company. Well, I mean, at the time, it was a good idea. And I'm sure that, like, you know, there's very little demand for the original DS Wi-Fi connection support. But it makes going back to it after the fact difficult. That is one thing that, like, it's a little unfair to hold it against it so many years after its release, but it is one of the things kind of hampering my enjoyment of Gen 5 a little bit. Because Gen 4, it was strictly in player control, it wasn't tied to any mechanic that could be shut off, it was all in-game. And I could just farm up as much berries as I wanted with enough time, once I gained access to at least one berry. But, oh well. It adds to the challenge, I guess, but clearly I need no help making Pokemon challenging. Ah. Alright, Audino's coming fast and furious. I love it. And for anyone who may not know, part of the reason why I'm a little dumb when it comes to Pokemon, before we started this Pokeboomers series, the only Pokemon game I had played and finished was Pokemon Silver, when I was like 11. That was it. I'd played through most of Pokemon Black version in college, but I have retained literally no knowledge. Nothing of this playthrough has been familiar to me. It's all been, like, completely foreign and alien. I retained no knowledge. And so I got to experience things like Gen 1 for the first time as a Nuzlocke, Gen 3, Gen 4 for the first time as a Nuzlocke. That's definitely colored my impressions of the series, but at the same time, I don't think I'd be that interested in playing through a Pokemon game casually. I do kind of relish the challenge going into these blind-ish, like I do a lot of research, but there are always little details you're not going to think to look up until you're like in the thick of a playthrough. And I think if you've been following all the Pokeboomers as we played through these games, you've seen that happen time and again. Particularly this gen, because finally we don't have anyone who's really that familiar. Because Valen and I are in the same boat, where we both played through one of the games. Him, I think, to at least to the credits, to finishing the Elite Four, and me up to the Elite Four, and we both were like, yeah, and quit. So, Hugh, Valen, and I have no nostalgic knowledge, I guess you could call it. No past knowledge, really. It's just what we see on each other's streams, and then what we can look up. Okay, that's starting to get a little worryingly low. I think I could tank one more attack, though. And Yato comes through. Good. That gets him to level 30. He's close. Lord, this is a dark timeline. I'm glad I at least have my Emolga and my Boldore. They've been very stalwart Pokemon through and through. Let's give you Eviolite so you can maybe live through more than 2 attacks from an Audino, Miss Alligator. I think a lot of my success in this Nuzlocke going forward is going to be if I can catch some good Mons to replace the ones I've lost. Losing my starter is a big blow. Losing Sigilith hurts quite a bit. Whirlipede was mostly just kind of along for the ride this week, so that's whatever. I literally can't... Oh, Basculin. Basculin hurts, but probably wasn't going to be on the team long term, so... Cry Copium if you want, but... The losses on the whole are not as bad as they appear on the surface. I'm more concerned with what this does to my point standing in our challenge, because it means unless Hugh makes some serious errors and like completely wipes and has to start over, I'm probably not going to win the challenge this season once again. True. True, Lurk. I am doing better than Valen in points and in deaths. Somehow. So you have, like, you run the gamut if you follow all the Pokeboomers. You get various flavors of moving disaster from Valen and I. And then you get, like, carefully calculated, researched, and, like, careful plays from Hugh, where things always work out for him and nothing bad ever happens. I mean, I'm not even sure he's had a Pokemon get KO'd yet. Which is wild to me. I guess that's the power of his prep work. I keep trying. Fling. Fling feels bad to me. Thief I'm not crazy about. I guess I am literally running Rock Smash. Realistically, Fling is not staying on long term, but... Okay, and... let's see. Growing Pain, how are your stats? Sadly, I need to get you to level 31 before you can evolve. Oh, your defenses are really bad. And, like, Yato has had some trouble fighting these things, so I still don't think I can let you in the ring with them. At least not without, like, Eviolite. You have less... Yeah, I think I just gotta keep the experience share on him. Oh well, at least he'll be getting lots of HP EVs in the meantime. Or, you know, at least some. That's what I probably should be doing with people who aren't Miss Alligator. Slapping the... Oops. Slapping ye old... Oh! And I got an Audino despite bumbling blindly into the grass. There also exists the possibility that I run into a shiny Pokemon, whether an Audino or otherwise, which I will be obligated to catch and add to my team. I wouldn't be able to use it on Friday, but that could help me out longer term, potentially. Because Audino is not great, but a lot of my options are not great. A lot of them will get better next week when our level cap increases, and I can see some more evolutions from then, but I'm having to make the best out of a bad situation. Like, 2 of my Mons I was kind of okay with losing, but I don't have... That doesn't necessarily mean that I have good Pokemon waiting in the wings to replace them. If that makes sense. Alright, 28 for Miss Alligator. Okay, thank you, Lurk. Clearly I need the luck. I appreciate you dropping by. And I get Crunch, which is phenomenal. That can probably just replace Payback. And hey, it's a move I learn on stream, so I'm under no obligation to tell my competitors about it. Anyway, let me get Old Glory out for further Audino grinding. Alright, at least the spawns are being fairly merciful. I take it back. I guess I could still take this thing out. With Intimidate, maybe I better not take the chance. Oh, that's right, you know, workup and stuff. Yeah, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I said I need to get out of here. Thank you. Yeah, this is the best grinding spot I've got, but it's not entirely without danger. In fact, I should probably heal up my other Mons I need to grind up, in case I need to swap in. Because it wouldn't be good to overlevel one of my level 31s. Because I still need to enter my team in Pokemon Showdown for tomorrow. Hour 2. The whiskey in the glass dips ever lower. As do my hopes of being able to make any kind of a dent in Hugh's relentless advance towards first... Well, not advance towards first place. Advance towards the Season 5 championship. Briefly, I wonder, do I just start throwing to Avalen and let him claim victory after victory? How well can you take a dive in Pokemon These are things I never thought I'd have to consider, and yet, here we are, with my team completely in shambles. All hope of being competitive basically gone. You and I have very different tastes in music. I'm grateful he gave me this playlist so I can have something going while I have speed up, aside from just the janked up game music, but he and I have very different tastes in music, and that's all I should probably say. Maybe I'll just, like, let me just advance to, like, a random point where it's one I probably won't have heard before. Like this one. YouTube? I swear to God. Everything's breaking. Nothing's going right. Cats and dogs living together. Okay. Mostly just that song I didn't really care for. Okay. Yato is not yet at 31. That's the important takeaway here. And there is more grinding to do. Ever more grinding, onwards and onwards, endlessly. Like, I know part of it is our format, but I feel like even playing this casually, there would have been a fair amount of grinding necessary to do well at the gyms. Like, the Pokemon series as a whole, this is not me complaining about the generation, this is as a whole. I feel like Pokemon as an RPG series is about one of the worst I've ever played for having a natural difficulty progression so that the player, for the most part, encounters just enough enemies, fights enough battles to be at the level they should be for the challenge that you present them. I'm sure the counter argument is, well, you're going to be going more in the grass, trying to catch more Pokemon and such than you usually do in a Nuzlocke. But there's only so far that exploration or that urge can take you, I would say. Or maybe that's just because of my temperament. I'm not a player who gets a lot out of exploration. Part of that is my terrible spatial intelligence and my bad sense of direction. But in a lot of games, like open world games, I can't stand them. I can't stand them. Like, it takes a very rare game for me to be into, like, going and exploring things as a reward in and of itself to be satisfying to me. And that's not Nandino. Great. No, this is probably not worth fighting. Just run. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, what I should put onto my active Mon, unless it needs a defense boost like Miss Alligator, I realized that I have a Smoke Ball to guarantee retreats. Very handy. I actually hadn't realized that was changed into a held item. Because I think at least back in Gen 2, that was like a use in battle item. And it was just a one-off consumable. You had to keep buying more of them. Back in my day, if you wanted a guaranteed escape from a Pokémon, but the Pokemon games have changed. Some for the better, some for the worse. I'll be very curious if and when we get up to the more, like, the Switch era of games, how I'll feel. Because, boy, everything I've seen from, like, the odd streamer or YouTuber playing the game, I'm like, this does not look like a game I would enjoy. But perhaps my tune will change. the whole of the Pokemon fandom seems to have, by and large, been fine with Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, from what I can see. So, I don't know. All I can do is shrug. Could chalk it up to a difference in tastes, perhaps. Yato is really close to 31. But I guess it's not really a problem if he gets like a fair ways into 31. I just need him to not level up to 32. And I doubt Audino experience cut in half is going to be capable of doing that. That seems fairly impossible. And the threat of a shiny is still there, lurking. Avalan's had one, Hughes had one, excuse me. Will I get one live on stream? It is possible. In fact, since it seems we're going to be here for a hot minute, let me run a prediction on that like I did the grinding stream I did earlier this week. Will I run into a shiny for the rest of this stream? It's unlikely, but it could happen. Gamble your garlic coin, if you so wish. I'll leave that open for a minute. Because at this point, I'm having like a... We keep saying defeatist moment to refer to the ability. I'm like having a little bit of a defeatist moment IRL. Where I'm just like, just give me the shiny. Just give me the shiny. Just force something onto my team. I don't care anymore. And honestly, if it were Audino, I'd be okay with that. I would take an Audino. I really want something to be able to run dual screens. I think having a dual screen user is so helpful in competitive and in casual play. Just to be able to buff your defense against whatever you're going to run into. And then you can kind of set up your strategy a little bit at your leisure. You still have to worry about crits, as we saw tonight, but... Okay, attract, of course. Kind of wish that wore off eventually, but so it goes. I'm fine to have it last forever when it's my Pokemon using it, I guess, so fair is fair. If Yato takes too much damage, I can just swap him out as well. Okay, 31, the level cap. Oh, those stats are not good. Yato's gonna get absolutely shredded on Friday. Alright, well, hand over that smoke ball. Let's go back to having Miss Alligator do the grinding, and I'll give Old Glory the smoke ball, I think. And before too long... Actually, with Old Glory, if and when I have him directly fighting enemies, it might be better... No, I still want to be able to run away when I encounter something that's not an Audino. Rocky Helmet would be very handy to counter double slaps. But the issue is my turtle is so slow that I'd be afraid of the Stoutland and the Minccino just... Oh, failed to run, failed to run, failed to run, failed to run, your turtle's dead. Nice try, Vimbert, you fool. Grab another Pokemon from the PC. Alrighty, Miss Alligator, just hit him with a nice dig. Sorry, Audino. Pokemon said no gays. They keep trying the attract, and I appreciate it when they're same sex, because it's just a free turn for me. Soon Miss Alligator will evolve, and this will all have hopefully been worth it. Life. This also makes not getting the TM from the gym leader until next week of my gameplay sting all the more. Because Bulldoze would have been pretty neat for my Croc. But, well, that's my lot. I deliberately chose and pursued a strategy that put my starter in heavy danger. Part of the price I pay. I just didn't expect it to have so much additional cost. I wonder, are people, like, into Audino? Like, would it get a smash from some people's smash or pass? I could see that maybe being a thing, depending on tastes. Not necessarily for me, mind, but... Ooh, you just barely survived. Please don't high roll out of your mind on this double slap. Okay, only hit twice. I finish this with a crunch. And now Miss Alligator's got to tap out of the grinding for now. Oof. You are so squishy. This hurts. But hey, I've only got 3 Pokemon left to grind up. Never mind that one of them is level 25. At the very least, it's rocked. His rock typing will let him just resist every offensive thing that the Audinos have to throw out. So that should help to numb it a little bit, numb the pain. However, his offense is not the best. Yeah, only 1 per double slap. That ain't bad at all. There's a tract. Okay, that's what I did not want to see. Come on, Old Glory. I'm counting on you. Might need to do a little bit of fast-forwarding in the battle. Because we may be here for a minute. Refresh. Okay, we get off the Scald. Good. I don't like fast-forwarding in battles, because I feel like that's how your Mons get dead. But there it worked out. But Old Glory is extremely safe. Okay. And if you're curious why my stupid Waterstone evolving monkey has not been evolved yet, it's because at level 31 it learns Acrobatics, which I think is going to be a huge get for me in several respects. And it would not learn that if it had evolved, because Stone Evolution. Makes things a little bit more annoying up front. Of course, this is a female Audino. Great. Okay, Secret Power also does not hit for that much damage. There's the burn. That'll help. Okay, you refresh right away. Understandable. Hornberry. Double slap, double slap, double slap, double slap. Alright, critical hit. Audino goes down. Old Glory gains more glory. You shall have glory! I can't summon the Klingon voice on command. I don't know that I've talked about that much. I think I brought it up like once or twice, but I am kind of I've fallen off of it a bit. Mostly thanks to Discovery and Picard, but I am a pretty big Star Trek fan. I really love Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, even Voyager. I think Voyager gets kind of overlooked and short-sold. Haven't watched much of the original series, but I mean, William Shatner. It's just fun. You can't hate him for talking like this. I have seen a few episodes here and there. Picard and Disco are the bad one, and Discovery are the bad ones. The other 3 are good. That's largely what it... Wait, other 3? We have Lower Decks, What are the other two? I didn't realize there were that many Star Trek shows running right now. Strange New Worlds, Prodigy. I hadn't even heard of those. I suppose they're only on Paramount Plus, though, huh? I'd need to gain entirely legitimate access to that. Yeah, Lower Decks I've seen enough clips of that I feel like I've seen some episodes at this point, because a lot of aspects of that show really interest me. Like, at first it was like, oh, animated show. I mean, this is just going to be kind of campy and fun, like the original animated series, which I have watched all of, and I think does have some merit. But a lot of what I saw, like, I kind of liked, and, you know, they're using the animated format to its best effect. They've got crewmates that are, like, a little less human than a lot of, you know, the classic Star Trek. Oh, basically humanoid, but like, they have one of the Star Trek cat people as the ship's doctor. I'm like, okay, that's kind of great. And, like, instead of being cute space cat girl, she's like this perpetually grumpy, pissed off doctor who has no time for anyone's garbage. I'm like, that's great. Strange New World stars Captain Pike. Ah, right, before Kirk. Prodigy is a Nickelodeon kid-friendly show about some non-Federation kids who get access to an amazingly strong Federation ship and try to rendezvous with the Federation in the Alpha Quadrant. Okay. Interesting. I suppose the kid focus is why I didn't hear about Prodigy. Strange New Worlds could be interesting, though. Because I feel like Pike is only ever, like, a part of Kirk's backstory. And I haven't seen anything... Oh, Kate Mulgrew's back as Janeway. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. I love Janeway. My favorite Star Trek captain. Because she got that moral ambiguity about her. Which is why she's the only Star Trek captain to eventually become an admiral. Because she was evil enough. Because that's how Star Trek admirals work, apparently. You have to be at least a little bit evil. Which is ironic, truly, but... more Janeway! That's phenomenal. I love it. Strange New World's premises like Pike sees the future about him being in his robo-beat boot wheelchair thing from TOS and has to wrestle with whether to change fate and stuff. Oh! See, that sounds a lot more interesting than, like, the, what do we even call them? The Abrams Star Trek movies that were just such nothing movies where they, like, still tried to be like, ooh, multiple timelines, changing fate. I was like, That sounds like a more interesting take on it. I would be interested in seeing that. And Prodigy I would watch because Janeway. That's literally all it takes for me. I'm a simple man at times. You tell me I can see more of my favorite Star Trek captain, I'm in. Though Voyager is not my favorite show, interestingly. I'm still my inner jury is still kind of out on if I prefer Next Gen or Deep Space Nine. Most days I land on the side of Deep Space Nine, but there's something to be said for Next Gen. Going to discover incredibly boring melodramas. That's mostly what I've heard and what I've seen. Lower Decks is funny as hell. Yep. Prodigy is a fun show. Strange New Worlds recaptures feeling that weekly adventure. Ooh, okay. I mean, Deep Space Nine kind of moved away from the weekly adventure focus, which I think was part of why it worked a little better for me. They had a little bit more in the way of overarching plots, particularly as the... And this is why we hold the smoke ball, so we can just insta-get away from this nightmare. Old Glory, let's get the hell out of here. Now, does that use it up? It does not. Perfect. Yeah, those shows sound good. Yeah, I was excited about Picard at first, but the more I heard about it, and admittedly, a lot of my news is coming through Red Letter Media, who just absolutely, like, they've got two big Trekkies on there, and they both just, like, really don't like Picard, but what I've sought out on my own initiative, outside of just analysis independent of a few clips carefully chosen to support the YouTuber narrative, have been like, oh, this doesn't look good. Like, yes, you have Q, the best Star Trek character, don't at me, but most of the rest of this feels not good. Adventure still have a glorious serialization. Iris Steven, Rick Berman, and other permanent. Yeah! And we love that. Feels like most of the time when executives try to meddle with Star Trek, it doesn't go well. Like when, like in early Next Gen, they suddenly got the directive from, and admittedly, this was from the series creator, I think, before he passed, that was like, oh, interpersonal conflict doesn't exist in Star Trek, because it's the future and they've advanced, and they were like, so what character dynamics can we have? What can the plot be? And you can see them fumble with that a lot in the early seasons. But Next Gen gets its footing eventually. But yeah, Deep Space Nine, they had it, like, dialed in by the time they got to Deep Space Nine. Still was a little shaky at first. I think, like, I respect people who name Cisco as their favorite captain. Like, I completely understand where that comes from, but man, it feels like it takes a while for him to get going. Because for a long time, he's just like, he's a very distant captain, but not in, like, a fun Picard way. He's a distant captain in that he seems too guarded for you to get much of a sense of what the man is about. Picard, you get those hints. But, like, Cisco is just, like, very closed off a lot of the time. Voyager, when Rick Berman told Jerry Ryan 7 of 9, her primary role was sex appeal and to squeeze into a skin-tight suit. Use the... Oh, God! Rick Berman, why? Why Rick Berman? Yeah. That poor... She had... I've heard some stories about, what she had to go through during Deep Space, or Voyager, and I'm amazed they got her to come back for Picard. Because I would think there would be so much just bad feelings from her towards Star Trek as, like, a brand. And just being like, do I really want to go back and, like, have the chance that that happens again? But, you know, I'm sure they just solved that problem with piles and piles of money thrown her way. Because they're like, we have this Paramount Plus streaming service. What do we have to get people to sign up? Star Trek. We have Star Trek. They're like, okay, do a Star Trek thing. Do several. Yeah, oh God. Yeah, we really don't need to talk about the Native American stuff. Akuchi Moya, we are far from cultural accuracy. Though Chakotay was a cool character, despite the everything. It could have been worse. I guess. I don't know. Voyager's got a lot of obvious flaws, but I still love it despite that. I think a lot of what carries it for me is Janeway being my favorite captain, and Tom Paris being like... So, Tom Paris is just a very fun, sort of roguish character that you rarely get to see in Star Trek and still feel like he fits in the world. Like, you know, he's not exactly like it. Well, I mean, I guess he does technically start out the series as a criminal, but he's not like a bad guy, but he has a sense of moral ambiguity to him. Year of Hell was supposed to be an entire season? I never knew that. Oh my God, that would have been so good. Damn you, executives. Year of Hell is easily my favorite two-parter in all of Trek. It's fine. It's fine. I'd rather have my love for Voyager be informed of all the things it could have been, rather than what we got. I'd rather know as much. Like when This was a few months back, but I mentioned that I drink some Celestial Seasonings tea, and somebody brought up, oh yeah, aren't they the tea company that had, like, a weird alien-worshipping cult, and they had a lot of racist ideas in their ideology, and I was like, oh god! And, you know, I looked into it later, and it was like, okay, no, they got rid of that stuff way later than they should have, but they got rid of that stuff. But I'd rather know than not. I want to have the truth, generally speaking. Even if it ruins something I love. Because I guess you could say, like, I am of the belief that, this is a little bit tangential, but let me cook for a second. I am of the belief that cancel culture doesn't work on a broader sense, because there are always the people that are willing to be reactionary and be like, oh, the wokes hate this, let me funnel money towards it. But on a personal sense, you know, I want to be somewhat informed about what I consume as far as media, food, whatever. And I don't want to prop up people that I consider absolutely abhorrent. Not so I can, like, parade it around and be like, oh, look at what a good person I am. I'm not a good person. I'm very open about that. I'm a little bit of a scumbag from time to time. But it's more an issue of, like, ideological consistency for me, I guess. I'd feel a bit dishonest if I, like, if some company that produced a thing that I like were like, oh yes, we use a lot of our profits to support thing that you hate. And I would be like, well, I do hate that they use all the money I give them for this thing that I love to support this thing that I hate. But I'm going to buy the thing anyway. That would bother me too much to do. Just on a basic just on a basic emotional level. Is that dumb? Maybe. But it's what I do. Killed one of the 4 remaining bosses in 3 hours. Yikes. You managed to get any loot from there? Probably not. Well, I'm glad I was able to keep you company through that disaster, at least. Alright, hang on. Game sound is required for when somebody's evolving. Look at that sassy gator gal. Please tell me your stats look better. Please tell me your stats look better. A little? Lord. Anyway, back to the grinding playlist we're working with here. Because, oh no, we're not done yet. I gotta get the squad to level 31. Oh, and Drawing Pan is now there, so I can evolve him. I'll do that at the end, because I've already put the grinding music back on. Whatever. But that means no more experience share. Because the 2 Pokemon I have left are more than capable of fighting on Dinos on their own. So I'd rather just, like, power through... I guess it's a little better for EDs. Whatever. The choice is already made. Alright, this one is female, so it can't attract me, so I can just go in with Crunch. And hey, I can still use Eviolite on this alligator. Realistically speaking, a better use for that is to put it on Boldor to turn him into an invincible slab of diamond, but It would be better for the EVs, though. I hate that that has to be a consideration, but... I'm having to work under somewhat suboptimal conditions here. And I'm just doing what I can. Struggling through my Nuzlocke. I'd done somewhat okay on deaths up to this point. But, ugh. That whiskey disappeared kind of quickly. Honestly, better than I expected, neat. Alright, come on, Audino. Come on out. Let's just get this over with. You know you're gonna pop out sooner or later. I know where you live. Hey, there's a team player. Go in with that crouch. Don't do it. Okay, no sleep. Nice. Don't get away? But why? Old Glory. 27. Alright, on to the next. I have been thinking about what to stream once Pokeboomers goes on break. And actually I need to figure out what to stream after I'm done with Binding Blade, because I've got like 2 more chapters on that, and then that game's going to be done. Of course, a lot of that is going to hinge on if I get regular employment again, so I'll have to go back to my old Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday streaming schedule. In which case it would just be Pokeboomers and Shuffle Saturday, which is fine. But if I keep having a little more time on my hands, I will want something else. Got a few candidates coming up. I should probably... I've got like a 3D platformer. I've got like a 2.5D action RPG, I think. That's sort of related to a game that I want to stream day 1 that's coming out this summer. It's like in the same series, but it's not necessarily a sequel. One of those where the timeline's a little murky. That one would take advantage of this completely legitimate DS setup that I have here for the ROM hack I'm playing. Because if you want to get this given game, legitimately it's like $300 or something, because it had the tiniest print run. And it was on original DS, so no eShop. Though we're losing that as an option soon, too. Thanks, Nintendo. Which does feel a little premature to me. Like the eShop for the 3DS, I should be clear. Obviously the Switch shop isn't going anywhere. But it does feel kind of unfortunate that like the 3DS is not that far removed. Like I get why they sunset it, but I wouldn't think it would keep that much. It would take that much like server usage or whatever to keep the eShop up. You know, could still make them a few bucks here and there. But I don't know. I'm not an IT guy. I'm not a business expert. And obviously I don't know what kind of numbers they're looking at. Still, it's regrettable. I still have my 3DS. It's sitting right here on the desk, actually. Because, you know, every once in a while I get an itch. I'm like, I should play through Dragon Quest VIII again. And it's way easier to do it on 3DS than it is on PS2. I love the PS2 version, but the 3DS has so much quality of life that it'd be really hard for me to go back at this point. Though I probably should one of these times. 'Cause that is a good game. The PS2 version has a very different feel and difficulty curve. A little less streamlined, a little less smooth. And yet it's an appealing taste all its own, if you will. I gotta tell you, these Audino, they're rapidly running out of chances to join my squad by just popping up as a shiny. It's all they need to do. They wouldn't be able to make their grand debut on Friday, but... You know... That's aggressive. Namco releasing another Tales of Symphonia remake, like 3 for 3 on being worse than the GameCube version. Yikes. Really? I hadn't realized it was that bad. I mean, is that out? I guess I haven't really been keeping track of it. Target's HP is down to about half. The attack will hit with double the power. I do think I take that over Scald. I can always TM Scald on later. Because Brian's, like, execute power is something to be valued. It is always unfortunate when the remake is worse than the original. Like, they did a remake of Deadly Premonition, which is... It's not a good game, but it's a deeply interesting game. It's one that I wish I could stream on here. God, I would stream a full playthrough of Deadly Premonition in a heartbeat, because that game is a fascinating kind of bad, to where it loops back around to being good. And, like, I know what you're thinking. It's not a so bad it's good. It's not a B-movie kind of good. The decisions it makes are so wild, so unorthodox, so objectively bad game design, they all kind of work together to make something good. But the couple of times that game's been remade, they've introduced new problems to where the best way to play it is still the Xbox 360 original. That's made by the same guy. If any of you were here for my not Life is Strange, the Good Light playthrough that I streamed, it's the same guy. That sweary fella. Although Deadly Premonition is him ripping off Twin Peaks. And, you know, Twin Peaks is really good, so... Even being a pale imitation, it still ends up pretty good. Okay, that was a crit. I was gonna be like, that's a lot of damage for being a not very effective. Hello, Ardino. Could you give me the Omni boost? Which would be quite kind of you. I don't know if I'm in Brian range yet. It might be good to have Brian and Scald. The thing is, it is nice to have, Ancient Power, to have at least one stab rock move available. But I guess I do have the rock front kind of covered by my Bold Orb. More coverage is good. Let's see, what are the other moves I could get rid of on you for it? Crunch is good to have in general. Though I guess I could lose that. I have a Dark type on my team for now. So I don't know how badly I really need Crunch. There's not been a whole lot of Psychic types popping up anyway. So... but I don't want to make any rash decisions when I've got a little bit of grind brain going on. And, you know, I've had a small amount to drink. Come on, Ancient Power, I believe. Plus, it's also fun to, like, meme with Ancient Power and hope for the Omni Boost. Even though it never, ever happens. Okay, good. That was an Oranberry. You probably died to brine. Weird animation for it. That's not what I would think of when I hear the word brine, but I guess brining is a very slow process, so probably tricky to, like, convey that in a quick battle animation. So, I don't know what else they could do. Just a bit more. Old Glory's at 29, Miss Alligator's at 30. I'm almost done. Wait. Oh, that's right, you're holding the XP share. Yeah, that's fine. If you run into one of the problematic normal types, you can just probably live through it with your rock typing. Besides, that feels pretty unlikely. Thus guaranteeing... Nope! Okay, my luck isn't that bad that I'm speaking the worst case scenario into existence. Well, not worst case, but, you know, a bad case. I do not understand secret power. I know it's... Ooh! Okay, crit. Makes sense. Alright, Aqua Jet this hoe. My only hope of kind of staying in this competition is that I manage to win both of my matches tomorrow, which feels very unlikely. It could happen. My Emolga's use is limited a bit. Well, no. Hughes still has a water type in the game. I guess. So never mind. And, you know, Emolga has acrobatics, so whereas before it was just stuck basically being an electric move Mon, it has options now. And while I can have electric moves nulled out, nothing can null out flying. You can certainly resist it, left, right, and sideways, but nothing's going to be able to outright no-sell it. So that's nice. And my Emolga and my Boldor are at least semi-EV trained. None of the rest of this garbage is, but... Old Glory, like, I was hoping to save in the PC a little longer until I had easy access to special attack EVs. Like, yes, I can get them now, but they're very inconvenient. That was kind of my thinking. And the thing is, I've got a few Pokemon in the box that are just kind of, like, they're better later, like Gothita. Gothita can be a good, you know, once I can get easy access to special attack EVs, once she can evolve a little more. She can be a good psychic type, which is dulling the pain of losing Sigilith a little, but, like, not that much. I really like Sigilith. Okay, level 30. We almost there. Okay, one more for Old Glory should do it. With any luck. And Miss Alligator should not be far behind. And we can put a bow on this stream. I now feel less guilty about advertising the stream in my usual Discords. Like, 3 hours after I went live this afternoon. Or stopped. I ended stream earlier today. Because on ones where the self-promotion is not that active, I was like, ooh, I'm posting twice in one day. This feels a little scummy, but... it ended up being a full-length stream, so things worked out. People clicking on it were not exactly... I mean, it's grinding content. It's the lowest form of content I could produce that's not just reaction content. Which is something I will never willingly do. Unless it's reacting to myself. And that I still will not completely willingly do. You gotta pay Garlic Coin to have that happen. No one's taken me up on that yet. Which I'm both surprised, slightly grateful, and slightly afraid of. Because who knows, I could be ambushed by that at any time. Just somebody who just mostly lurks in these streams, slowly accumulating ever more points. And then on a stream where I've got to get things done, it's just like, well, the next 15 minutes are spoken for then. I can see that happening. And I wouldn't begrudge them that, because they'll have earned that right, but I'll be like, oh god. What have I wrought? I did this to myself. Alright, come on. Show me the Omniboost, Old Glory. You did crit, so that's like, that's even better. I'll take it. Smackdown. Oh yeah, that's that rock move. That power is not great, though. Ancient power is kind of a meme. Tortuga, are you more of a special or a physical attacker? Definitely more physical attacker. Yeah, okay. Ancient power is kind of a meme. So despite the lower power, this one should work a little better, I guess. I apologize if you're screaming at the screen. I cannot hear you from here. Alright, Miss Alligator, bring it home. We're in the home stretch, Audinos. Soon you can go back to your peaceful lives. No more disturbing noise of my bicycle rolling right outside your tiny bush homes. Just a bit more. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Hopefully this one is enough. But it probably won't be. Okay. You are same gender, so I can go in with Crunch. Miss with Double Slap. Rare. A caught in 4K sticker on the Discord? Interesting. I'll have to check that out. Oh. Wandered into the grass. We could certainly use that at timer 8 around here. Or around there. I think I lucked that a little better than reacting with yellow or red cards to statements we don't like. I catch myself in 4K all the time. Okay, I can definitely tell Miss Alligator is hitting harder. but I don't know if she's gonna hit hard enough. Is the problem. You know? You feel me? Okay, Miss Alligator just needs a little bit more in the way of rando kills. And that we can provide. Maybe not for Matimber, though. That hits her super effective. I actually forgot Timber were in this area. Okay, a Herdier. That's fine. That's safe. I'll take a Herdier. Give me the crouch. I admire your workup, but you're never going to get the chance to take advantage of it. Miss Alligator, kill him. Kill her. There we go. All right. Kill the grinding soundtrack. Bring back the game music. So we can get this one finished out. Oh, and of course, where is yon? Waterstone. Come, drying pan. Assume your true form. It's completely hideous. I really don't like the way Simi-Poor looks. Okay, so this is the team that I will have for my battles tomorrow. I think people have filtered out as it's gotten a little later, but if you're still here and you're not following my rivals, please do. We will be live over on Hugh's page on Hugh's channel tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we will be battling with our teams that we used this week in the Nuzlocke for additional points and glory. You'll also get to hear our thoughts on how everything went, and we'll be battling along with members of the community. I also have the Discord there if you want to follow along with what's going on, get notifications when Pokeboomers stuff is going live. There's also a channel where me, Hugh, and Valen post where we're doing other stuff. But that is going to do it for me. Is there anyone I know who is streaming? Oh, hey. Flair's streaming. Flair was in here earlier. He is a PNG... He is a furry PNG tuber, just to get that out of the way if anyone's uncomfortable with that. He is playing some Skyrim, so I'm going to give him a raid. But that is going to do it for me. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Spend a little bit of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it may be for it. If you're watching the VOD, and particularly if you're following all the Pokeboomers, I thank you. I see you. I appreciate you. Go say hi to Flair. That's going to do it for me. See you around the internets.